am working on collecting every LEGO Star Wars minifigure ever made. And this is where my journey has taken me so far. I have over 800 minifigures on this wall. Well, today we're going to be adding a bunch more. 15 more guys are going to be filling in these spots. A little bit of old up there, a little bit of new down there. A lot of guys, a lot of new guys. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So first up, we have a couple of older minifigures. So on the left here, we have an A-Wing pilot. He came out in 2009 in the Home One Mon Calamari cruiser set. So he's pretty old. It came out in a pretty sought after set, and he is pretty lame, I think. So he goes for about $5 now. He's got very standard printing. He's got the motorcycle helmet there with a little print. It's hard to focus. It's got some Orbesh on there. I'm just noticing that now, but so that's a little neat. But other than that, like, he just has a standard smiley face and the light flesh tone color. On the back, there is no printing, but he does have a little bit of a ring around the helmet. Pretty lame minifigure in my opinion. Here is the original A-Wing pilot from, I believe, 2000, and they changed literally nothing about this guy except for the head. So here he's got the old yellow face print with the microphone piece. The new one is literally only changed the face. So in a pretty awesome set, you get a pretty lackluster minifigure, and again, he goes for about $5, so pretty par for the course. On the right here, we have a much cooler minifigure in my opinion. He came out in 2014 in the Ewok Village, the UCS Ewok Village set, as well as an advent calendar. So we have a Scout Trooper. And this is a pretty cool Scout Trooper, I think. He's got the old style of Scout Trooper helmet, but he's got like the updated printing with the black arms and legs and then printing on the legs. He's got pretty solid printing all around. It's just on all minifigures, they print white on black. It's gonna look pretty faded there. So that's a little disappointing. On the back there, he's also got great printing, and he actually has a balaclava head there. So if you put that on, that way you can kind of see his eyes poking through. So he's much cooler than this A-Wing pilot, and he goes for about $7. So a little bit more expensive. Both of these guys came out in pretty awesome and expensive sets and don't go for a whole lot. Him, I believe it's because he's pretty lame, and then this guy, it's definitely because of the advent calendar. But that does it for these two. Let's get on to the next ones. Next up, we have some really cool minifigures. So all three of these guys came out of the 2012 Palpatine's Arrest set. And that set is very sought after, very rare, very expensive. And I was fortunate enough to get my hands on one of these sets, so I got the minifigures. So I'm super excited. On the left here, we have Agent Kolar. In the middle, we have Sassy Teen. And on the right is Kit Fisto. So all three of these guys were in the scene where the Jedi go to arrest Palpatine in episode 3, and they all die. But these are some excellent minifigures. So on the left is Agent Kolar. This is the only set he has ever come out in, and he looks fantastic. He's got a really cool headpiece there with his horns, because he's a Zabrak. He's got his hair. He's actually got printing for his freckles or tattoos on his face there, which is really cool. No alternative head there. And then on the back, he's got some Jedi robe printing there, which is actually pretty detailed as far as robes go. Then on the front, you can see just standard Jedi robes. And then this guy he's very expensive. He goes for about $100 in good condition. So I am super glad to have him in my collection. He is very cool. In the middle here, we have Sassy Teen. There are two versions of Sassy Teen that have come out. One is this one in the 2012 set, and we also got a Clone Wars version here. You can see he's got the Clone Wars style head with his wide eyes, and he's got the wide arms for the clone armor. This one is definitely a lot better in my opinion. It's a realistic looking one. You can see his cool sculpted headpiece there. Then he's got really nice face printing all around. Nothing on the back. He's got standard dark brown Jedi robes. And then if we flip it on the back here, he's just got simple robes. Unfortunately, none of these guys their capes were all kind of bent up, which is a little unfortunate. I can iron those out though, it's not super difficult. Then on the right here is, and Saucy Teen, to get him in good condition, he's about $40. It's also quite expensive. On the right here is the cheapest of the three. This is Kit Fisto, and to get him in good condition, it's $35. So still, you know, pretty expensive for a minifigure. He has come out once before in the Arc 170 set. Actually, maybe twice before, but only one version. And this is how he looks like. If we can get to focus a little bit, you can see his head there is made in a different material. It's like a softer plastic. You can see the paint is fading on this minifigure, which is unfortunate. This one is a little bit better. It's harder plastic. The paint doesn't fade as easily, but when I was looking through Bricklink, a lot of the figures noted that it does have fading, so it's still very possible for the paint to fade off of this one. But it's just the exact same Kit Fisto, except now he's got a cape as well. So very cool minifigure. I think Asian Kolar, you know, a little bit of spoiler, is the coolest figure I've got in this wave, in this update. He is just fantastic all around. I'm very glad to have him, but all three of these guys are really cool aliens. You know, Saucy Teen and Kit Fisto is my favorite Jedi, so very glad to have him. But that does it for these three minifigures. Let's get on to the next ones. All right, next up we have the other three minifigures from the Palpatine's Arrest set. We've got Anakin, Mace Windu, and Emperor Palpatine himself. So, when I was doing research for this video and looking at the figures, I found out that I've actually got the wrong head on this Anakin, which is super unfortunate. When I bought this, I didn't realize it, but I mean, what are you gonna do? The head itself is not very expensive. It's about a $3 head on Bricklink, so not terrible. So I'm not incredibly upset over that. But the Anakin is fairly expensive. Even just if it was a regular Anakin, it'd be very expensive. He goes for about $45 in good condition, and this is a really good looking Anakin. He's got really cool Jedi robes there, his episode 3 getup. He continues on the pants there. I want to show you the head. I mean, it's the same basic head. He would have the determined face and then a Sith face on the back there, even though this isn't the correct head. On the back, he's got his standard Jedi robes. It's a very cool minifigure. This is one of the better Anakins I think we've gotten. He's really good looking. In the middle, we have Mace Windu, and this is by far the cheapest minifigure from the set. He goes for about $15 new. And that makes sense. We've gotten a lot of Mace Windus recently, and this is honestly a pretty bland minifigure as far as these guys have gotten. He's just got his standard Mace Windu robes, no leg printing. His head is pretty plain. Then on the back there, he's got no alt head, of course. Then nothing on the back either. So it makes sense that he's only $15. Still a good minifigure. I mean, Mace Windu isn't a very complicated looking guy in the first place, so they do the job well. And then on the right here is another quite expensive minifigure. We have Emperor Palpatine, and I think he goes for about $85 new, if I remember correctly. And this is a really good minifigure, and I would have said would have been the best Palpatine minifigure we've ever gotten if it hadn't been until last year, where we got basically the same Palpatine but updated. But regardless, this is a pretty cool one. He's got his Sith robes, or Senate robes, before he got arrested. Pretty good detailing. It's kind of hard to see, but his stripes there are pretty reflective. On the back, he's got an alternate head of when he gets shocked by his own lightning. So he turns into, you know, classic Emperor Palpatine. Then also the pretty intricate detailing on his torso there continues on the back. So pretty cool minifigure. Just to get all 6 of these guys, it's like $295, which is pretty ridiculous. It's a quite expensive collection. So it's no surprise that the set itself is pretty expensive to get. But once again, I'm very glad to have this set. It's been my white whale. This has been my top set I've been wanting forever. So I'm very, very glad to have that, and very fortunate to have it in my collection now. But that does it for these 3 guys. Let's get on to the next ones. All right, next up we have 3 more minifigures. On the left here, we have a Wookiee warrior. In the middle is Commander Gregor, and then on the right is X-Wing pilot Luke Skywalker in his 20th anniversary uniform. So on the left here, this Wookiee warrior came out in 2016 in the Wookiee gunship microfighter set. So he's a Rebels character, and he's not very expensive. He's about like a $4 to $5 minifigure new. It's a good mold, really good looking Wookiee, good face printing. And there is one minifigure very similar to this, another Wookiee with the exact same printing all around, came out in the regular Wookiee gunship. However, this one has, if you can get that to focus, an armband on his arm, not on the other arm. So literally, this is the only thing that differentiates from the two Wookiees. But it is an exclusive minifigure, so it goes on the wall. In the middle, we have a pretty cool minifigure. One I'm glad to have in the collection is Commander Gregor. He also came out in 2016 in a Rebels set in the Rebels ATTE. So this is from his appearance in the second season of Rebels. He's an old man, and it's a pretty simple minifigure. Most of the Rebels characters that came out around this time had pretty simple printing. He's got a good face. If you can kind of see there, he's got white stubble all across there, which is a really nice detail. He's got his, gray tank top, his belt printed on there. On the back, just pretty basic figure, and he goes for about $20 new. On the right here, we have the 20th anniversary version of Luke Skywalker. This came out in 2019 in the Anakin's Pod Racer set, and it is it's like a reproduction of the original X-Wing Luke pilot back from 1999. So pretty cool figure. What makes him different is, of course, he has the 20 years of LEGO Star Wars print on the back. So just a nice novelty figure to have. He's got no alternate head. Very basic printing, to reflect how it looked back then. So cool item for collectors for sure. And he goes for about $5 new. So also not a very expensive guy, but glad to have him on the wall. And without further ado, let's get on to the next ones. So next up we have some brand new minifigures. On the left here we have Yoda, and on the right we have Training Droid. So both of these guys came out in 2023 in the Young Jedi Adventures Tinu Jedi Temple. I've never seen the show before. It's definitely geared towards a younger audience. However, I think the minifigures are all right. These guys, maybe not in particular, but the next two I'm about to show you are pretty solid. But first up we have Yoda, and he's been molded in lime green, which we haven't seen before. He's actually got a brand new head mold there, so that's pretty neat. He looks pretty cartoonish, he's got his wide eyes. He's definitely got the stylized look. And they don't usually, I'm not a huge fan of the stylized looks very often. But he's got some really cool Jedi robes there, definitely giving the High Republic vibes. And then on the back, he got very, very simple printing with his little hood there. And then he's got some paint apps on for his hair. So that's Yoda. On the right we have a Jedi Training Droid, and this is a minifigure in the lightest of terms, right? I mean, he's just brick built. He's got no utility. He just sits there. But he's got a cool printed dome head there. Make a cool astromech out of it. He's got a lightsaber attached to him, so I imagine he kind of just spins around and whacks the Jedi. Yeah, not a whole lot to say about this guy. He goes for about $1.50 right now, and Yoda goes for about $5. So again, these guys are brand new. I'm sure those prices will fluctuate. Maybe not a whole lot for these guys. I don't think they're going to be entirely sought after. But that does it for these two guys. Let's get on to the next ones. And last up, we have Lise Soleil on the left and Kai Brightstar. So these guys both also came out in the Young Jedi Adventures Tinu Jedi Temple. I have absolutely no attachment to these characters. I don't know who they are, I don't know what they do. However, I really like these minifigures. So for Lise, she's a cool little alien there, blue skin, nice printing on the face. And then I really like her Jedi robes. Definitely get a lot of cool custom stuff from there. She's got the midi legs there, so she can actually bend around. She's got a little articulation. She's got the nice cloth flowy cape. On the back there, she's got simple Jedi robe printing, and then she's also got an alternate head looking pretty dang happy. Very cool minifigure. Oh, and the hairpiece. It's molded in purple. I've never seen it before. It's new to me, and I really like it. It's a good, solid hairpiece. On the right there, we have Kai Brightstar, and also really like this minifigure. Just a standard human one, no cool alien, but also he's got a cool Jedi robe print there. He's got some lime green gloves going on. Don't know what that's about, but I mean, it's fine. It's cool. He's got lime green on his jacket there, so I imagine it's actually part of the costume. He's got a pretty cool hair mold as well. I've never seen that before. Kind of like, you know, a little faux hawk going on. Also got the midi legs that can bend on the back here. Also just pretty solid standard printing. And on the back, he's looking pretty scared instead of happy. These guys are a little bit more expensive than Yoda and the training droid, and I feel like they'll be a little more sought after. They're exclusive, right? The show, I don't know how popular the show is, but I think these are really good minifigures. But that does it for this entire haul video. Let's go put these guys on the wall. And I definitely forgot to mention they both go for about $5 right now. So actually, I misspoke, not more expensive than Yoda. They're all about the same price. All right, let's see where they all ended up on the wall. So we got the oldest guy up here with the A-Wing pilot. A little further down, we have the Scout Trooper. Over here, we have filled in a pretty big gap, and a very expensive gap, with all the characters from the Palpatine's arrest. If we go down here, we got the Wookiee Warrior, just right in the middle. To the right here, we have Commander Gregor next to the rest of the clones from the ATTE sets. I'm glad to have all three of them now. Pretty cool that I finally got them. Down here we have the 20th anniversary Luke. I do wish I had his nameplate. Like I got Leia's nameplate there, and then I got Han's as well, so I might have to cop that at some point. And then down here are the brand new guys with the Young Jedi Adventures. So yeah, we're getting pretty close. I think I covered everyone from the video. The wall is looking pretty good. No big gaps anymore, besides maybe down there in the new spot, but those will get filled here pretty soon. Yeah, pretty solid. Over halfway done. We're inching closer and closer to victory, guys. Without further ado, if you could smash that like button, that'd be incredibly helpful. And then I will see you all later.